Hey everybody, welcome to part 2 of our relationship marketing. I'm Emily Roberts. I'm a 26-year-old Diamond ambassador, and this is the beautiful Jennifer Brett. She is a senior Ruby ambassador on my team, and we're so excited to kind of dig a little deep, maybe convict you a little bit on the relationship. So it's your plexus business with your friends, with your business partners. Susie McColl is a diamond with plexus, as we mentioned in part 1. And these are her thoughts that we've just kind of taken and broken down into our own words. And they're so good. They're so good, and we can't wait to get started. So with that being said, I want you to grab a pen and paper. I want you to really listen. Maybe you have to watch this a couple of times to digest it all, but these are excellent reminders that we are a team. We are one plexus, and I absolutely love what she has broken down for us. So let's begin. Point number 1 is it's super convicting to me because I was guilty of this when I first began my business. This section kind of includes this. There is no such thing as upline, downline, legs, sideline. Get that terminology out of your head. If you're currently using it because you're used to network marketing, that's okay. Those are common terms used. But in Susie's mind, she thinks that we should all just be business partners and keep that one plexus mentality. If you refer to someone as a downline all the time, it can kind of be derogatory. Maybe it might even be a little condescending. Now, obviously, it depends on the terms that you're using it in. But again, we are a team. We are business partners. And that's how we should all operate and think. Another part of that leads into this is relationship marketing, right? If we focus on so much of, well, I'm the upline and this is how it's going to be, are we really benefiting that person? Is our relationship really growing? She talks about how grateful her and Chris were for the plexus opportunity and what it's done for their family, but she wanted those same benefits for her entire team. She didn't want to do something for her team with hopes that they would do something for her. It shouldn't be like that. I think a lot of us strive in our relationships, and in the back of our mind, we're all thinking, well, what's in it for me? And we need to change that mentality. We need to change our attitude to, how can I help them? I believe Jen Hawkins has repeated this. I think the original quote was Zig Ziglar, but if you help enough people reach their goals, your goals will just happen naturally. I love that because it's true. If we help everyone in our team just reach one goal, is that going to get us closer to our goal? Now, that shouldn't really matter. You should always want to benefit your team and help them out. And so Susie goes on to share this. She's seen the opposite of this mentality. She has seen things, for instance, just like this. Maybe I'm talking to you. Okay, team, I want to hit this rank, so I'm going to need y'all to do this amount of work and this amount of time, and then I'll give y'all a big, huge prize. Or I need you to get me to X rank, and then you create a contest for that whole month, and you only will give out the prize if you hit that rank. I've been there. I've been super close to doing something just like that, and that's not the right mentality. That's not one plexus. That's you being a selfish leader. So it's really important for you to get your goals, lay them out on the table, get your team, lay their goals out on the table, and then you all work together, and you will be amazed that you don't have to buy your success. When it comes to plexus, we have an incredible compensation plan and clearly incredible men and women that when we work together and when we're sharing about both of these things, it all just kind of falls into place. So for the record, Susie likes this. She had add a little disclaimer. She knows many people who she loves and respects in this business that do use those terms. That's not a bad thing. You can refer to your team members however you want. We just don't want anyone to look down on someone for doing so. And by calling someone your downline, that doesn't make them any less of a person, of a best friend, of a mother, of a sister. Kind of like what we talked about in part 1. This is the norm, and maybe it's kind of peculiar for Susie and Chris not to use these terms. But I think if we start moving forward and calling everyone our business partners, not only does that make us sound more professional, but it makes everyone feel important.
I love that. I really love that because it's when you were talking about helping your team members reach their goals and your success will follow. I get myself at the end of the month so wrapped up and rallying for my for the people, well, my downline to promote, and I completely lose sight. I truly could put my hand on the Bible and say that I truly lose sight of that. It's lifting me up. I just focus on helping them, and it just really helps. And then like for example, for me last month, then my team started rallying for me to go senior Ruby, and there I am bawling my eyes out because I just don't expect it in return. You lose sight of that. So I just love that. I love that. So next to touch on is that you are not a manager. You bought your business for $34.95. They bought their business for $34.95. Yay, we all own our own business. So your job is not to manage your team. Our job is to encourage our team. We cannot, to be their biggest supporters, to be their biggest cheerleaders. We cannot want this for them. We cannot run it for them. We can't make them post on Facebook. We can't make them reach out to people. We can't make them break out of their comfort zone. We can't make them attend events. We can't make them go to convention. We can't make anybody do all of these things that we want for them. But what we can do is encourage them. When you try and force it, you're not only probably going to lose a team member, you're probably going to lose a friend. That friendship will have just really diminished, and now they're seeing you as their manager. And I really can't think of any time that I worked in corporate America and liked my manager. Let's be honest. And that's just not our job in this situation with Plexus. Your intentions might be good, but they might not see it that way. You might be pushing somebody because you love them and you want it so badly for them, but they don't see it that way when you're pushing them and you're smothering them over it. Our job is to give them the tools and to guide them into ways that they can succeed. But to shove it down their throat, nothing good comes out of it. So we should cheer them on, celebrate their successes with them. When they get any customers or ambassadors, celebrate those with them. Go out of your way to show them that you're appreciative of them and that you love them. Wish them a happy birthday. Send them a little handwritten card. Little things like this go a long, long way. So another thing that I actually just did with my leaders, even, which I feel like it even took me too long, is find out their love language. There's 5 love languages. There's a whole book on it. You can Google it or look it up on Pinterest or wherever you want. But there are 5 love languages and everyone has one. So, find out which is theirs. If theirs is acts of service, maybe you can call customer service for one time when they're having a busy day. If, it's gifts, you could send them a little something. Find out their love language and feed into that, because when people feel appreciated, they're going to do a lot more. And we just want to support them and guide them and help them in their success. Grow relationships with those individuals. It's helped me a lot just knowing my leaders' love languages. It's helped so much. So the last thing on managing them to, if you can literally manage somebody to death. In Susie's words, no one will win. The constant rules and smothering them will just put out their flame completely for Plexus. It will put out their flame completely for the friendship, and it's lose-lose. It's lose for you as their sponsor because you just lost a team member. It's lose for you as a friend, both of you, because you just lost a friendship, and it's lose for them in Plexus because they've just walked away from an opportunity without seeing their full potential.
I agree. That's one of my favorite topics, just because when you join Plexus, we talk about this freedom and be your own boss. You didn't sign up to get a new boss. So I absolutely love that. And I think it's something really important that everyone should take away from. Next up, we got hurt feelings. I love what Chris and Susie say, because they do this business together. You see them post together. They share funny stories about their life and their Plexus business. So Susie has the luxury of seeing Plexus through a man's perspective, through a man's eye. And if you think about it, this is a predominantly filled woman business, and most network marketing companies are, especially when it comes to your health. And so it's a pink drink world for women, right? And ladies, if you're watching, we can be a little feisty. We can say things we don't mean. We can overreact. We can get upset. So if you are a woman and you get your feelings hurt somewhere in your Plexus business, this is Susie's advice. Do not react to that moment for 24 hours. Walk away. Same thing goes if you're angry. Do not act in anger. Do not write a message. Do not text them. Do not email them. Do not write a Facebook post, for crying out loud. Do not do that. At the end of those 24 hours, if you still feel the same way that you did when this happened, then move forward and obviously address it. I'm not saying to be negative or to yell at someone or to hurt their feelings, but it needs to be addressed. Now, when you are working a business with your friends, you don't want to hurt their feelings. You don't want to put them down. And most importantly, if you react in a negative way, that can lead to disastrous decisions for your business, maybe even their business, if they get so turned off by that. So we've seen friends, for instance, Jen and I, we've seen friends fall apart in this business. They were best friends going in, and then that ugly jealousy monster gets in there. I say this a lot. Comparison is the thief of joy, and we'll get to that here in a minute. But if something like that happens and it hurts your feelings, remember the 24-hour rule. Walk away for 24 hours, pray about it, meditate over it, but don't react. You have to gather your emotions. We are business network marketing professionals, and you want to remain professional because that is a part of your brand. So no one wins this situation either. If you get your feelings hurt and you go and hurt someone else's feelings, and then someone else may internalize that was meant for them, and it's just crazy. There is more success that can be achieved if we all work together rather than working apart.
Right. And that leads to the next point, is pride. You guys, disagreements happen. It's a part of life. We're all human. We all have opinions, but part of that is respecting other people's opinions. If a team member does something different from you, that doesn't mean that they're doing something wrong. It just means that it's different from you. And that all circles back to, we all own our own business. So, let the people on your downline do their thing. Support them in it. If it's different from you, that's okay. That circles back to us not being their manager. Don't let pride get in the way of growing your team. Emily just touched on, Susie mentions it again. Give yourself enough time, the amount of time that you need. Maybe it's 24 hours. Maybe it's, but do not react out of anger. Don't react out of anger, because it just doesn't end good. Agree to disagree and move on is pretty much what Susie sums that up with. Just agree to disagree, move on. We're in a business together. Let's rock this thing together, and don't let pride get in the way of that. Being prideful helps nobody, and both of your businesses will suffer.
I love that, because I think all of us are very prideful before we join. That's why we're so skeptical, right? So why bring that pride into your plexus business? Leave it at the door and go in with an open mind to other ideas, to other ways to lead and to grow your business. Next up, we have jealousy. Jealousy can ruin relationships in your business. For the most part in plexus, you see everyone rooting for each other, cheering each other on. Everyone's so excited and celebrating promotions. Like Jen said, her team was rallying for her to go Senior Ruby. I love that. However, sometimes jealousy does this really ugly thing, and it gets in people's heads, and it's just because we're human. And all of a sudden you think that you're not good enough, or they're not good enough. Why do they get that and I don't? It's really important for us to grow our business that we don't let that green monster take over. I have a special guest over here if you can hear him. This is real life, right? This is how we work our plexus business. So anyways, it's okay for all of us to cheer each other on, but it's not okay to tell someone that they don't deserve a promotion. Thank the person that welcomed you to this opportunity. Focus on the things that are going to grow your business. Focus on you and your success. Focus on you and your failures. What can you learn? How can you improve your skills? And you need to know that God has a distinct plan for you that is completely different than someone else.
I love, my thought on that is, as long as you're putting your hardest work in and you're doing your best, then there's really nothing to be jealous about. Just keep doing you and keep pushing forward. And if you're putting the work in, it's going to happen in your timing. And there's no sense in getting upset of being jealous about somebody's quicker success than yours if you feel like that's what it is, or it's just a waste of time, and it's a waste of emotion. Just keep pushing forward and working your hardest. Which leads us into insecurities. Insecurities ruin dreams, teams, and relationships. We all have moments of insecurities, and that is okay. I don't think we're human if we don't feel insecure from time to time, right? But that's okay, and we're all different, and that's also okay. It's okay to be different from your sidelines. It's okay to be different from everybody else around you. No two people were created the same. We weren't even created to be exactly the same, and it falls into our plexus business. How boring would it be if we all ran our businesses the exact same way? So don't internalize this and let you feel insecure. Know that your journey is different from everybody else's. No two diamonds are exactly the same. And Susie says that. Susie said that she looks around at the diamonds and she's like, holy cow, I'm so much different from everybody here, and they're all different from each other. But the awesome part about plexus is that we can all do it differently, and we can all be different and still succeed in plexus. And it's just a really awesome thing.
Absolutely. Next up, we have drama, which kind of, strives from insecurity, as Jen mentioned. Don't do it. Don't get involved. Walk away. Surrender. White flag. Just don't do it. Set this as a rule in your business. Set it from the very beginning, and it will duplicate with the rest of your team. If you see drama, run away. Run away. Remind yourself that this is a business and you don't want to get involved. You are a professional network marketer, remember? And this is about relationships. Drama ruins relationships, and negativity breeds negativity. You don't want to be a part of that, and there should be a zero tolerance for it in your business and on your team.
Yep. And to kind of backtrack into the insecurities and the drama, which kind of feed into each other, it's about being secure in your business. So let's touch on actually being secure. Until you're secure in plexus, in both the business opportunity and the products, your success isn't going to follow until you're feeling secure. And I feel like a lot of drama comes from feeling insecure, just like you said. I mean, that's usually the main cause of it. So unwavering belief in the products, business, and yourself, with the addition of enthusiasm and the desire to help others, is the formula for success. So if you feel like you don't have that belief yet and you're not feeling secure and you find yourself surrounded by drama, go to an event, read some testimonies, and research product ingredients. Maybe the drama is coming from your personal life, but I think a lot of the drama comes usually from feeling outshined, or there's a number of reasons, but build that belief and it will diminish that. Go to events, read testimonies, and research product ingredients. So I love that those two tie in together. So the next is what Chris McColl likes to call throwing down the flaming sword. Don't do it. So when we're in relationship marketing, there's a lot of emotions, right? Because we're all human. So cool off, take that 24-hour break, recollect. Calling somebody out immediately on something that they did to upset you, nothing good will come from it. The McCalls make this very clear, and I can agree more. Distance yourself for a period of time and know is right for you. So for some people, that's walking away for 20 minutes and then texting that person back. For some people, that's waiting a couple of days. Do what you know is best, because the last thing we want is ruined relationships and throwing down that flaming sword. This also goes for people who are not on plexus. So boy, have I experienced this personally. When you get unfriended, when you get mocked, when you get gossiped about, definitely things that I experienced in the beginning, and the McCalls strongly suggest, and I'm so thankful that I didn't either, is to not lash out on these people. Don't throw down that sword that he's talking about. Don't burn that bridge. Bless and release, which is a phrase that we hear so much in this business. They're likely to come on board after time. And I'll tell you that there was somebody who went around my entire neighborhood of the moms that go to the park and everything, and told everybody not to trust me with plexus, told everybody these horrible things that she read online, and one of my good friends tried to demolish my business, and I kept persevering, and she joined my team like 8 months later. So it just is proof, and the McCalls say the same. Don't throw down that sword, because they're likely to come around. So yeah, bless and release, and that's all we can really do in that. Don't go bridges over it.
I love that. I think you just about covered every single thing on that topic. And it's a touchy one, because You want to call people out. You want to say, I knew you were going to join. Like, I mean, Jennifer, I mean, not throwing you under the rug here, but she was one of my biggest skeptics. She really was. I wanted her on my team so bad. So bad. She had a gorgeous little family, and I'm like, girlfriend, like, you need to do this with me. And she was like, yeah, no. And it's about timing. Really, don't throw it on the sword and just give it time. So I love that. I think it's super important. This is the last point that we're going to cover that the McColls mentioned, and it's about your rock stars. We all want them. We all have at least one on our team. Maybe not yet. So maybe I'm not talking to you just yet. But for those of us with teams, and you have that one person on your team, and they are just grinding their gears and they are going places, and you're so proud, and then all of a sudden that proudness turns into maybe a little jealousy. Maybe it turns into apprehensiveness because they've created their own team page, and you're thinking to yourself, well, no, add your people to my page. What are you doing? And it's kind of like this motherly thing, right? We do this parental control, and we want to make sure that they don't go off on their own. We want to watch their every move because we love seeing them succeed, but we miss them. And that's okay. I want you to know those feelings are completely normal. However, cheer them on. Let them be awesome. Encourage them to continue to be awesome. Encourage them to work alongside their rock stars. I think sometimes we get so upset that they want to start their own journey, make their own team page, train the way that they want to train, lead the way that they want to lead, and we take it personally. And it's not about us. That's their journey. And what were we here for? God has us here as the door. We were the connector to them in Plexus. We helped them begin their business and start this opportunity, and we've done our part. Now it's their time to shine. Now, maybe you're listening to this and you are the rock star. Okay, don't let your pride get in the way. Don't sit there and say, oh, my success is because of me. Guess what? That person introduced you to Plexus. You should thank them for that. That doesn't mean that you have to submit to them and tell them every step of your journey and all your goals and your plans. No, but remember that you only said yes to them asking, hey, do you want to join my team? So keep that in mind. Make sure that you tell your upline that you appreciate them, that you tell that your business partner that, yes, thank you so much for introducing me to Plexus. This is what my life needed. I needed these friendships. I needed this. I love that along the way, you have the opportunity and with this incredible compensation plan that you could potentially surpass your upline. That's an amazing thing. And the fact that you get to still stay a part of their team is even more awesome, because a lot of companies, if you surpass your upline, you're on your own. You don't get to still work alongside them. So I love that Plexus allows that. We have a couple of people that maybe this relates to you. You have a rock star and you see them succeeding and you just kind of back out. You don't really want them to succeed, but you kind of do because you're still getting paid for it, right? You're still getting a paycheck. You have that rock star on your team. I know, touchy subject. Bear with me. You might make hundreds and thousands of dollars. You make a couple $100 off of this person and their incredible team. Spoil them. Give recognition where it's due. Help them run contests, help them to continue to be the rock star that you know that you are. And don't take it personally, and don't compare your journey to theirs. You invited them this opportunity. They said yes. Link arms with them and run. Go to the top together. There's a couple of little bullet points that Susie has under Rockstar, which I think they're super important to mention. I just kind of touched on this. If you are jealous of your rock star, you are crazy. So do me a favor and thunk yourself on the head. That's what Susie and Chris say to do. You need to be grateful that they are flying past you and that they have the time to devote their energy to their incredible team. That they don't need you to hold their hand. It's time for them to go and show you what they're capable of. So instead, you should wish that every ambassador flies past you and has that momentum. And I love that. So stop being jealous of your rock stars. And like I said, link arms with them. Jen, go ahead and go over the next one.
Yeah. And so also, how do you help these rock stars? You're like, yeah, well, I have this person on my team that's like doing their own thing, but apparently they don't need me, and I think that we can get a sense of like butthurt naturally, right? So one thing that we can do to help them is ask them how they need our help. If you notice that they're running a lot of contests and giving away a lot of prizes for their team, like Emily mentioned, ask, hey, do you want me to chip in? I'll go halves with you this month on your contest, and let's get them something really good. encourage that. If you can't do it financially, write them a card, mail them a card. Emily has an awesome thing on the R&T Rockstars page. Give a shout out to them in there. Shout out to this person for kicking butt and, flying by. She's doing awesome. Give that recognition where it's due, because like Emily said, touchy subject, but you're getting a paycheck from this person. And if you don't appreciate them, that's not good. You need to be showing appreciation towards these people, towards your rock stars. So, help out towards contests, shout out, mail them a card, send tokens of appreciation. And Susie says something that I agree with, but I also know can be a little bit touchy. She says, this is not a time to be cheap. This is not a time to be a cheapskate. Now, I can speak from experience as somebody who is relying on my plexus income to feed my 3 children and aid in my husband getting out of the Marine Corps. Can I spill hundreds of dollars into my team every month? No, I can't. But I think that this is so important, where their love language. There's people who I could send a $200 gift to who would have rather a heartfelt card. So find out that love language, you guys, and send tokens of appreciation, send those cards. No, it's not a time to be cheap. Do what's within your budget. But if you know that you have it and you know that you're honestly making that money to spoil that person, you need to do it. You really need to do it if you're in a position to, because they deserve it wholeheartedly. They really do.
Absolutely. I love that. And she's speaking from a place of, we've been there, done that, because I'm a gift person. I tell Jen all the time, like, what is something that I can just reward you with? And she's like, a good book, or come clean my house. We all have kids. Like, all our love languages are different. So I definitely agree. Learn your team's love languages. Lastly, it's still on the topic of rock stars and being their business partner. You're their sponsor. You introduce them to this opportunity. They have surpassed you. And Susie and Chris have noticed that when that happens, the upline just kind of fades away, just goes into hiding. It's kind of like these feelings of unworthiness, like, oh, I don't deserve the rank that I am because I didn't do all this work. They did all this work. And it's not about that. Our compensation plan is designed to go to the top together. And yeah, it can be a numbers game if it really comes down to it at the end of the day. But instead of feeling insecure and that you're not worthy of the rank that you have, own it. Own it and go after your goals. Your rockstar doesn't need you, so to speak. Eric Roy talks about this in GoPro. Let your rockstar do their thing and you do your thing. Use that time that you no longer have to spend with them. Go spend it on your other level ones. Go spend it on your other team members that may need you to hold their hand, that may need that extra time with you. Focus on your business. All the while, continue to cultivate your relationship with your rock star. Don't leave them hanging. Y'all are still friends. And continue to do it in the ways that we've mentioned. I know this was a super long video, so thank you all for hanging in there with us. This was completely written from them in a place of peace and love, and they've learned so many things of relationships over the course of their plexus journey. So I agree with them. It's been a 2+ year journey for them. I'm almost coming up on 2 years, and I've learned some of the exact same things as I know Jen has too. So think about some of these things before they happen. Prevent some of these things before they happen in your team. Be one plexus. And remember that this business is precious. We have the opportunity of a lifetime, and relationships are precious too. So remember that. Use these notes today and go duplicate this with your team. Thank you all so much for joining us.
And thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jen.
You're welcome.